Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Really Automotive and today we've got a Kia on the channel for the first time. And why not start with the biggest Kia they offer? Now this is the Kia EV9 GT-Line S, so it's the top spec model and it's just over £76,000, which in my head is a lot of money for a Kia. But when it arrived, and I saw what this car has to offer, the spec, the amount of technology, I was pleasantly surprised. Also, I had my hesitations with it being so big and heavy, but over 2.5 tons, but being electric. How is that going to work? So let's go through all that and we'll go show you around the car.
This car starts from £65,000, but this specific car is just over £76,000, and this is the highest level trim you can get. We've got 0 to 62 time in just 5.3 seconds with 378 brake horsepower and 700 Newton meters of torque, with a combined range of 313 miles. It weighs over 2.5 tonnes, and we also have a 2.5 tonne towing capability. This car is four-wheel drive, but you can also get a rear-wheel drive version, and the car comes with 6 or 7 seats.
So this visually is a good looking car, I'd say. It's very blocky in its design, but it kind of reminds me of a Volvo mixed with the new Land Rover Defender. I do like the look of it. I like these smart LED headlights, which are really good at night time as well. But I'm not the biggest fan of these wheels, which remind me of like a plug socket with why they've done them. But I just don't like them. That's just personal preference. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. So as it's a GT line, you get the black detailing everywhere because it is the higher spec. The side of the car I think is really good looking. It's definitely well proportioned. So let's go into the interior. We have these retractable handles that open nicely when you appear with the key, and then the seat comes back so you can get in and out. Definitely reminds me of a Genesis in here, as it would. Very high quality and luxury feeling. What I don't like is these. Now, I can understand that they are very comfortable, they're very spongy, but I just can't see how they're going to hold up really. You've got the leather behind, but you've got these here, and they are comfortable, and I'm not saying people have greasy heads, but I think they're going to get quite stained quite easily, to be honest. So I definitely say they should be in leather. I do really like these seats with the sort of contrasting black and cream, and then you've got GT line here in the seats as well. Plenty of room for the two front passengers. You have your controls here, so you've got heated steering wheel, you've got cooled seats, and also you've got massage seats in the front here as well. You've got the Meridian sound system, which is really good. It sounds epic. And I also really like the design of the speakers as well. I think they're very premium. You've actually got pause and play as well on the paddle. Onto the dashboard and the steering wheel. So to turn the car on, you actually have to press this button, put your foot on the brake, press this button here, and then turn it into drive or reverse. I find it slightly annoying because it's just a difficult to get to when you're you've got to go like this. It's not the most practical thing in the world, I would say. It likes to beep at you, this car. It does like to give you a good beep, perhaps you can hear possible icy conditions. So what we have here, we've got the big steering wheel. We've got these buttons that I will say don't feel the most premium, but we've got cruise control. You can turn off your lane assist as well, and we've got our different modes, and it's got a hang up button as well, which I really like to see. Now, as this is the all-wheel drive, you get terrain mode, which gives you snow, mud and sand as well. And you've also got your drive mode, where you can change it to normal, sport and my drive as well. Now onto the infotainment screen. So the infotainment screen works quite well, but it was quite hard to navigate at first. I literally normally just use Apple CarPlay, but it's very customizable. You can change your seats. You can go and heat the rear seats from here. You've got full control of the car, and you can actually also fold the seats down from the back as well. As you can see, it just disappeared. We've got the climate control panel here, which is quite difficult to use because of where it is. But luckily we have physical buttons down here, which you can just turn the mode up, turn it up, down, which is super easy to use. And it's nice to see we've got a volume button here as well. Now, I will say that when you are sitting like this, it's quite difficult actually, because This is quite far away, so I'm in my current seating position is how I would drive. But as you can see, I can't reach over here. So you've got to sort of lean forward, and then you end up steadying your hand on these sort of haptic buttons. I've changed it so the sensitivity of these are a lot more physical. It feels like you're sort of getting a response when feedback when you're pressing the button, which is a lot easier. We've got 2 USB chargers here and also a 12-volt socket. This is very nice. So we have a customizable fingerprint here, which customizes, so the settings here are for you. The fingerprint scanner is really good, and it makes it a lot more customizable, the whole experience. So when you get in, you literally can just scan the print and it will take it back to how you want the car to be. Now the only thing is, unfortunately, it doesn't change the fact that when you turn off the safety features like the lane assist, it will automatically come back on. And I understand this is a safety feature, but it's quite annoying that you have to sort of change that every time you get in and out of the car. But I don't mind it. The front sunroof here has a manual cover, which I'm okay with, and the rear has a cover that you can change here. So rear passengers can't actually do the cover themselves. It has to be at the front, but I think that is okay, to be honest. The rear is a lovely place to be. I've got so much room here. I'm 5'9", and this seat is set to sit me at the front, so definitely lots of room for adults in the back here. So we've got 2 USB-C chargers on the seats, along with the controls here to move this passenger seat. We have 2 cup holders and also lots of storage here that goes right throughout. So you can actually spec this, so you've got a drawer that comes through with a table on top, which is quite nice as well. We've got this rugged effect which goes throughout the car. We've got it up here as well, if you can see. Reminds me of sort of Defender vibes. We've got it on the dashboard as well. Very rugged, but also you've got the luxury feel to this car. You have the window shades, which are nice, and everything just feels very nice and sort of soft, nice materials. So we have heated and cool seats in the back here. And overall, it's a great place to be. Plenty of room in the back for passengers. Now, I think we should show you in the back and see how much room we have in the 3rd row. Moves the seat forward in the back, as you can see, quite a lot from where I was sitting, just to show you how much room I have when I get in the back. So I've still got plenty of room here to sit quite comfortably. And when you get in the back, you press the button here and it moves the seat forward for you. And you carefully don't bang your head like I just did, because I just banged my head. Well done, media. So as you can see, I have this much room here in the back, with it positioned a little bit more forward than the row normally is. I would struggle to sit in it how it is, but luckily you can sort of slide these rows forward and back depending on your passengers. But there's plenty of room. It's actually really comfy because you can just sort of move the chairs back and forward, which is really nice. So you can adjust it depending on what you've got in the boot, obviously.
On to boot space. So with all chairs up, we have 330 litres, which is about the same size as a Volkswagen Polo. Now, with the 3rd row down, we have 821 litres. And then with all seats down, we have a whopping 2,232 litres. We also have a 3-pin plug socket at the rear here, so you can boil a kettle if you want it. Not forgetting, we have a front trunk which has 90 litres, so you can neatly store away all of your cables. Now clearly the Kia is a big car, but luckily we have Kia's remote smart parking assist, which enables drivers to easily manoeuvre their Kia in and out of tight parking spaces using only the key. And as you can see here, I'm demonstrating and going behind it to show you the safety features that it will stop if there is something behind it.
On to the all-important drive, because I think we've already figured out that this car has plenty of room and lots of tech as well. But how does it drive? Especially, this is what the main thing for me was, how on earth can we have such a heavy, almost sort of over 2.5 ton car that's fully electric? How is that going to work? So the combined range is claimed to be 313 miles. Now, I would say we'd get closer to about 273, 275 in the real world. Now, I've actually been quite surprised because I've had it a week and I've done quite a lot of driving. I've only needed to charge it once. And it's not the worst EV economically that I have driven, so I'm not mad about that. Now, it is incredibly quick. With a 0 to 62 time in 5.3 seconds, it's definitely got enough power. And it's kind of crazy because this car is absolutely huge, but for a car this big to go that fast is just mind-blowing, and it definitely feels fast. I think this is a really great car on the market, actually. Like, I didn't think I'd be this impressed with it. I've sort of struggled to understand the sort of target audience with this, because I feel like it's quite a niche audience to want an electric car that's 6 or 7 seats. Like, there can't be that many people that want a car this big. But doing some research, these are quite popular actually, and however, after living with it for the last week, I can see why you'd buy one of these, especially if you've got a family. It looks good on the outside, but it's just that practicality of having the 6 or the 7 seats. It's like a minibus, but like a cooler looking minibus. It definitely feels big on the road, and I'm not going to deny that. I'm used to driving big cars, and it doesn't feel small on the road. It feels big, as you'd expect. It's very wide is why it feels so big. It's got good suspension, but it's not as soft every day on the road as you'd expect sort of a Range Rover would be. The more premium brands, you can definitely feel it's not as soft on the road. However, it's not bad, it's not terrible, and it's comfortable to be in. It's got a lot of safety equipment in this car. It comes with a very high spec of anti-collision and so forth. It literally tells, if you stop at a traffic light and you don't carry on, it will tell you that the car in front of you has started moving, which I think is really impressive. It's been really highly rated in terms of safety. And it's a really good all-rounder, especially if you've got families and you need a bigger car. I don't think it's terribly expensive for what it is. When you look at other cars on the market and you think a brand new Golf R is 50 grand now, so what, 75 grand for the top spec with all of this technology, massage seats, you've got the lot. I don't think it's terrible. Let me know in the comments, do you think it's way too expensive for a Kia? Manoeuvring it around, it's got a turning circle of 12.3 meters, and when I first started driving it, it started sort of turning out of roads. I was like, you know what, this isn't bad at all. This is actually really good. So in everyday driving, sort of manoeuvring it around's okay, but it's only when you get to parking it, you're like, okay, right, so the turning circle isn't actually that great when you're actually using it to turn around. You realise how big this car actually is. And it's very long. It's a big, heavy car. And I'm very surprised, actually, at how much I've enjoyed driving it this week, because I didn't have that many. I was quite apprehensive about it at first, but it's definitely surprised me. It's got enough power, it's got a load of tech in it, and it's very practical every day for a big family. So what more would you want? Is it because it's the Kia brand it would put you off? Would you rather spend more money and get a more premium brand? I don't know, but let me know in the comments. I'm thoroughly surprised, and this is actually my first time driving a Kia, and I'm surprised with it. I'm not mad.
Thank you for watching, and remember to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!